it, but Luc, you saw this film, you read the books as a 10-year-old. What were your impressions of the books then, and how did that translate to what you're putting on film now?
At 10 years old, the comic book was very new, very fresh. It was this team, Valerian and Dane, going through space and time and have like incredible adventures, meeting a lot of aliens in different worlds. So I didn't have internet at the time. So the only thing I had was Valerian. So that was my entire internet. And so I get really falling in love with them and follow the 29 albums, waiting for them. And so that's part of my life.
Tell me about these two lead characters here and how these two individuals fit your idea of casting.
So first, I know Valerian and Dane very well, so I can guide myself when I met actors and actresses. And I was impressed, both of them, when I met them. They really fit with the image I had from Valerian and Dane. Just after that, I just had to be sure they're serious, they're concerned, they're ready to work. The only thing I don't want to hear is like, yeah, why not? Yeah, let's do it. I need to be sure that they're passionate. Yeah. And I was lucky because they matched my passion. And I'm honestly, now I can say to you, they're amazing to work with. And the last day of shooting, we cried so much. So, just can't wait for the second one.
Dane and Cara.
Yes.
Did he weigh heavily on you? Give you any specific tips? I mean, he knew the characters by heart. What kind of words of advice did he give you folks?
He really didn't give us any. He left us in the deep end. No.
Yeah, you know, it took maybe, I'd say, a week of being on set with Luc and hearing what he wanted and who he thought Valerian was. You know, it was a process, and it was almost something that was an unspoken exploration. But when I got it, he always let me know I got it. And slowly, I think Valerian was formed, but you know, by the end, it was just kind of, we had this language to go back and forth to make the characters come to life. The characters were there, you know, we lived with them for so long that they were just a part of us.
It really felt like he kind of wanted to reach that place naturally as well, so kind of guiding us instead of really telling us what he wanted. It was more that we kind of did it together and we could find that in ourselves, so kind of get to that place as naturally as possible. So it felt that way, especially kind of the first time we worked together. Kind of almost that first reading that we did, it didn't really go, and obviously we got into the character level, but even that initial first meeting, I think when we read it through, you could just feel it. That's when it really hit me. I was like,
What I try also on the schedule is all the important scenes in terms of emotion or fighting together or things like this. I put them more on the second half of the film. So we start the first 2 weeks by things were a little more easy to play to give them the time to fit the character. But you have to understand that almost every shot, it's blue screens everywhere, so it's very difficult for them to catch the character and follow the path.
Virginie, I understand you're not exactly a sci-fi fan per se. What was it about this script and these characters that made you want that, made you agree to produce?
I think I love the joy that there was in the script and in the film, how colorful it was, and also the relationship between Valerian and Dane. I think anyone can relate to it. And I love the fact that it was grounded because of this, the human relation in it. So
Actually, I think you can transfer the same team today as two cops, and you will have basically the same film. You know, it's really the story of the two teaming together and trying to resolve problems. Except that in the 28th century, the problems are bigger. And the chase are also bigger.
Cara, you
Good cops, good cops.
Cara, you good cop. You're falling in line with a director who has a history of ass-kicking female leads. How did you approach the role? What was your thoughts when you got that cast?
It's kind of one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had in my life, but also definitely one of the most daunting. To kind of, again, fall in line with a long line of incredible, strong female characters, which there aren't enough of. Luc is, one of the forefront of people who've done that, and I love it, and it's just been so effective. I'm really excited about it.
And Dane, how do you combat that? Tell me about the chemistry on set with you folks.
I feel like our chemistry was kind of there from the start, I mean, we had, in a lot of ways, it was just fun. Our job was to have fun with each other, joke around with each other. And, Cara's really...
Great job.
Cara's really easy to... She's so much fun to be around. She's just full of life and, has a really kind of quirky personality. And whereas I'm someone maybe that can take myself too seriously almost all the time, Cara was always there to keep me in line in that way and make sure I was having fun and joke around. And in the middle, I think we met and there was just this fun but serious when it had to be relationship that we formed. That was, it was just a blast.
It was so good as well having Dane, because I think so many of the points I had no idea what was going on. There's so much blue screen and so many things that are meant to be answered, and I just would always ask Dane what was going on. I was like, why do you think I know? So we were just together in that partnership of just Luc guiding us through complete madness, which was just so special.
So you mean that every time you say to me,
No, I don't. No, just that. I mean, you know what's going on. It's always you sitting there, because you have a lot of stuff written down, but you sit there and you're going through the shots just in your head. I was like, okay, I'm just going to do that. He knows what's going on. I don't even know.
All right, how about some questions out here? Right here.
Yeah, what for Luc? Obviously films such as Star Trek and Star Wars have taken us to interplanetary worlds. So what artistic challenge is it for you to create something new and different that audiences haven't seen before? And for the actors, just talk a little bit about when you have to work so much in CG and green screen, what type of artistic challenge is it for you? Because it's not just an intimate character study.
I think the only thing you can broaden is yourself. So I'm not trying to look, I'm a big fan of Star Wars and I love all this film as a movie work, but when it comes to interpret the thing by myself, I come with my history, my knowledge, and if you ask the question to a painter, Modigliani, didn't care about what Picasso was doing. He decided to make girls with a long neck and black eye, and that was his thing. And so I don't think about that, in fact. I'm just following, sometimes when I'm writing, I'm laughing by myself, because I think it's funny. Or sometimes I cry by myself.
So what was your inspiration to what space would look like?
Working with a lot of designers around the world, some of them from China, Brazil, France. I worked for almost 3 years with a bunch of 8 creators, more crazy one than the other, and just nuts. They should be on the hospital. And they come with stuff was just sometimes you watch the thing and say, how the guy can think about the creator of this. And so there's stuff that I can't take, it was too much. But 9 comic books, my imagination, and the help of these 12 geniuses that I work with, we create this world. We take like really our time. It takes almost 3 years to really create everything. But when we start the film, I have the designs on all the creatures of the film. I can show them and say, here, that's a Martin Roy, that's a Valerian,
I
that's
can't
a...
believe you managed to fit it into this film. That's what I was going to say. Because to see the journey of all the illustrations and the process from the beginning, the amount of those boards and the most incredible drawings I've ever seen, I was like, wait, this is meant to be one 2.5 film? Like, how did you do that? Yeah. Well, you did that.
And for you guys, the challenge of all that CG work.
Well, to me, the CG goes back to imagination. You know, it's just kind of for me where it all began. These movies, the sci-fi, whatever comic book kind of movies, they're such a great excuse to go back to when I was a kid and I was like dressing up and playing like superheroes or whatever. And that's all there is. This is your costume and your imagination. And Luc telling you what the world is around you, but you don't really know what it's going to look like. So I just create it in my mind, and I follow that. And there's something really kind of innocent and freeing about that process if you don't take it too seriously and you lend yourself over to Luc's vision and to what's going on. I think it can be almost childlike in nature, the work.
All right, right now, middle on the second row back. You, yes.
Yes, hi. This question is for the director. I was wondering
Speak up.
the Chinese actor, Mr. Wu Weifan, how did you cast him and what kind of character he played in this film?
I met him. He's a very sweet guy, pretty good actor, and he's playing a captain on the army. So he spent a lot of time with Sam Spruell and Clay Bowen. He's on the army side, and it was pretty good in him. I like him. He's a good guy. The only problem with shooting with him is you have all this 12 years old Chinese girl screaming on the bars of the studio. I can't walk. That was the only.
English-wise, he is okay with the.
Sorry?
English-wise, he can speak English.
Yeah, he has to work on it. We push him, I push him, because sometimes I can't understand. And the thing is, sometimes I can't understand my English too. So.
All right, how are you?
What's up? My name is Valerian. I just wanted to throw that out there because it sounds like Larry. So,
Yes.
what are, anybody can answer, what are 3 things you want fans to know going into the film? What are 3 things you want them to really be focused on, what you want them to know before seeing the movie or going into the film?
Yeah.
What are three things you'd like fans to know going into the film?
Personally, honestly, my wish is if you can just trust me once, try to know nothing and just sit down. That's my wish. If they can trust me enough, I made 17 films, so watch a couple of them and decide if you can trust me or not. If you can trust me, just sit down, take your popcorn, and see you into art.
All right, back in the back there.
Hi, this is for the cast. What were the physical challenges of making this film, and how did you create the characters to your
A super physical film. It's a lot that goes into. It's a lot of what it's about when you make a film like this, and you have to look like somebody that can save the universe. You then have to look like somebody that can save the universe. And so the training for me was a huge part. Not only how I looked physically, but also the mentality going into each day. I would just kind of show up in the morning and I would work out before we got to set. And it would just pump me up for the day. And it would just kind of put me in that Valerian mentality, ready to take on challenges and put me in a super positive mood and made me able to do what was asked of me. There's a lot. Valerian is a really great soldier. He can do a lot of different things.
Yes, right there. Yes.
As question for Virginie. As a husband and wife team, did you find it challenging at times?
You know, we're married.
No, it's not challenging. We've been working for.
Sorry.
We've been working together for 17, 18 years, and I've been producing Luc's films for, it's the 5th film, I think we did together. And we've just learned to respect each other's part and role, and it's easier to talk together, and I think I can see easily what he has in his head as well. So I think it turns out to be a good teamwork.
Thank you.
What's interesting is for a long time, she was producing and I was producing in the same company, but we were scared a little bit to work together because we go back home with the kids and we don't want to fight or anything. So we wait for a long time, and then one day, there's one film that she really liked, and I said, okay, let's try. We were nervous, but she's so good that now it's my film.
Got time for one more. Right there.
What makes Valerian visually or emotionally distinct from other science fiction films of this present age of filmmaking?
If I did my job well, I think you will see it right away when you watch it. But I can't say it.
Okay.
I just think that the answer is Luke. You know, I think I really do. Like, I think Luke has a very distinct style. He's got a very distinct, unique taste, and this movie captures that. And without Luke, you can't have that.